Hello everyone, welcome to this video tutorial on connecting an existing SharePoint site to a new Microsoft team. It is not uncommon for users to first create a SharePoint site and then add a Microsoft team for collaboration. So what is the use case here? The SharePoint site is already available and users would like to add a Microsoft team to the site. Instead of creating a team from scratch, it's a good practice to create a team and associate with the existing Microsoft 365 group. This makes it easier to manage permissions, as the same group is shared between teams in SharePoint. Also, we need to keep in mind that creating a team from scratch also creates a SharePoint site and adds other services which is not needed in this case. There are primarily two methods by which you create a team and connect to the existing SharePoint site. First method is adding a team from the SharePoint site itself, and the second method is by adding from the team's interface. Let us check out both these methods. Also, let us review the two sites we'll be using for this exercise from the SharePoint Admin Center. Training Portal and Trade Shows are the two sites. You can see that they are not connected to Teams. Use the team site template and connect it to Microsoft 365 group. Having checked this, let us look into the first method of adding a team from the SharePoint site. This is the SharePoint site from which we'll be adding a team. Click Add Microsoft Teams from the left panel and follow the prompts to add the team. This allows you to bring document libraries or lists into Microsoft Teams for collaboration. When the team is added, the selected content is available and ready for use. Let me do a quick walkthrough of the steps involved in this process. I click Add Microsoft Teams from the left panel. Click on Continue here. And I'm going to select the list of the document libraries that I need to be brought over to Teams. I go to my list and then I select Expense Tracker. I go to Document Libraries and I say I also need the training documents. The documents library is selected by default, but I do have training documents which I need to be brought over to Teams, and then I click on Add Teams. Now this creates your team and adds it to the and connects your SharePoint site to the Teams. Let me do a quick refresh of the page here. As you can see, once I refresh the page, the Teams icon is available here, which says this SharePoint site is now connected to Microsoft Teams. When I click on the Teams icon, it takes you to the Teams interface. And you can see the training portal team has been added here. And if you look at the right panel, the expense tracker and training documents content has been brought over from the SharePoint site based on our selection. Now this covers the first method of connecting an existing SharePoint site to a new team. Now if you remember, the second method is by creating a team from the Teams interface itself. This is the Teams interface, and click on the plus sign here and click Create Team. This gives you options of whether you want to do it from a template or from another team or from a group. In this case, we would like to leverage our existing Microsoft 365 group, and I selected from group here. I do have trade shows, which is a Microsoft 365 group, and I would like to use this. And I click Add Team. It creates a team, and as you can see here, the trade shows has been added here with the default post in the file tabs. Now this covers both the methods of connecting an existing SharePoint site to Microsoft Teams. Hope you found the content useful. Thank you so much for listening.